If you have ever scrolled through Pinterest and thought, why do some of these pins really pop and mine are just disappearing? Trust me, you are not alone. Design is where great strategy sort of meets visual storytelling. It's what turns your pin from background noise into something that is really clickable, that stops the scroll, so to speak. Today, we're breaking down how to design pins that stand out using the right visuals, fonts, and messaging to attract your ideal readers. Now, if you want to go deeper, there's a whole module about pin design in my Pinterest Power for Authors course. That link is below. Definitely check it out if you are diving into Pinterest. I'm Melissa Bourbon. This is Marketing Monday, where we take author strategy and blend it with Pinterest to make magic. If you caught last week's video about creating pins that convert, yay, thank you. We talked about defining your pillars, your 3 to 5 key topics that tell Pinterest exactly what your brand is about. This week, we're going a little bit deeper and talking about how those pillars can come to life visually through design. First, let's talk about why design matters. Well, Pinterest is a visual search engine. It is not a social feed. That means design isn't just decoration. It is a way that you are communicating with the pinners out there who are scrolling. That means good design makes your content really recognizable, readable, and clickable. It tells readers in a split second, this pin is for you. And it signals to Pinterest that your content is polished and relevant, and that ultimately is going to help your pins rank higher. Let's take a look at the visual elements that catch attention. So we're going to start with those visuals. When you design a pin, you want to instantly tell a story of some sort. Good thing that we're authors, right? You want to think in terms of emotion and clarity. So choose imagery that fits one of your pillars. If one of your pillars, for example, is on the craft of writing, you want to show notebooks and laptops and coffee cups and writers at work. If one of your pillars is cozy mysteries, you want to think about warm colors and teacups and book stacks and soft lighting, things along that nature. If one of your pillars is fantasy world building, you want to look at landscapes, magical textures, maps, things like that. Regardless, you want to use clear images with space for text. Busy photos make text very hard to read, so you want to choose clean compositions and give them breathing room. Stick to your brand palette. For me, that's coral, navy, cream, and I use those consistently. So your readers should be able to recognize your pins the moment they see them. Now, again, if you really want to get into the design part of this, there's a whole module in Pinterest Power for Authors where we actually go through designing, and there's templates as well. You want to look at font and text. Your text is sort of like your headline, right? It's your hook, and it has to do two very specific things. It needs to be readable at a glance, and it needs to make people curious enough to click. Here are a couple of basic rules when it comes to fonts and text. Stick to 2 fonts on a pin max, and make these 2 fonts your brand fonts. One is for your headline and one is for smaller text. Too many fonts gets a little too chaotic and it muddles the look of the pin. You want to keep it really tight, really controlled, really clean, really readable. You want to use contrast, dark text on a light background or vice versa, light text on a dark background. You don't want your message to get lost in the design. So you need that contrast to make it really readable. Now, remember, a lot of people are scrolling through Pinterest on their phones. So they're looking at very small images and yours needs to pop. Finally, you want to look at size hierarchy. Make the most important phrase the biggest because this is your visual call to action. This is the thing that's going to grab attention. So, for example, if I have a writing craft pin, I might say how to write deep point of view that hooks readers with a visual of a cozy writing desk, maybe a coral overlay, and some sort of a legible serif font. If I'm creating a cozy mystery pin, I might have text that says love cozy mysteries, start here. And a visual might be a cup of tea and an open book and warm tones and my author name, kind of smaller at the bottom, definitely my author website. If I'm creating a fantasy pin, my text might say world building secrets for fantasy authors if I have a post on that. And my visual might be something like a misty forest or a parchment map or gold accent font or like a soft texture overlay. Each of these styles is going to communicate who this pin is for and what it promises instantly because of your text and because of your imagery. Good messaging is going to connect with readers. You don't have to have long titles. In fact, short and direct usually wins because we don't take a lot of time to read. So your pin text should answer one of three reader questions. What am I going to learn? What am I going to get? Why should I care? So you want to try phrases like 5 ways to do XYZ, or how to do this, that, or the other, or secrets to ABC, or the truth about 1, 2, 3. And if it's fiction related, you can go in with things like fall in love with, escape into, discover your next favorite. A reader, again, should instantly know what clicking is going to give them. Is it a resource, an idea, or a feeling? So again, those 3 questions that you want to ask yourself that a reader is going to ask themselves. What will I learn? What will I get? Why should I care? Before you hit publish, run your design through a quick checklist. Is my text legible on a mobile phone? Because again, majority of people are scrolling on a mobile. Does my pin visually match my brand style? So you don't want some sort of tense, scary font if you write romance, for example. Is there white space around the text or breathing room? You don't want to crowd too much in because the eye doesn't know where to look. Does the image evoke the right emotion for my pillar, the goal or the content or the keyword that I'm representing? And does the title make me want to click? If you can answer yes to these questions, then your pin is ready to go. You guys, design isn't just about being pretty. It's about being purposeful. We need to give our pins purpose. That's how we make Pinterest marketing work for us. That's how we are successful on Pinterest. And when you combine visual consistency with strong messaging, your pins will become recognizable, clickable, and memorable. And that's it, a quick overview on pin design. Next week, we're going to take this a little bit further and talk about messaging strategy, how to write captions and headlines that will attract readers and also convert them into subscribers or followers or fans, which is what we want. Now, if you want to make sure your current designs are set up for success, grab my free pin signal checklist. The link is below, it is free. In that, I walk you through exactly what Pinterest is looking for in a high-performing pin. You'll find that link below, again, the pin signal checklist. I will see you next week. Until then, happy pinning.
Never needed Poppy's blessing, no. You need keep working just to get it, though. I know she carried your whole world.